Margaret, Kevin Baker, Kevin, if you want to go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, for inviting Dublin Cycling Campaign here today. My name is Kevin Baker. I'm the chairperson of the Dublin Cycling Campaign, and I'm accompanied here by Vice Chairperson Louise Williams. Dublin Cycling Campaign is a membership-based charity in Dublin. We promote cycling, and we're 100% run by volunteers. We have a shared vision for a more livable Dublin, where people of all ages and abilities can cycle safely and comfortably. And we believe that if more people cycled in Irish society, then Irish society would be stronger, happier and healthier. We're obviously going to have a bit of a Dublin and urban focus to a lot of what we talk about here, but it can be applied to many of the towns and urban centres around Ireland. Let me quickly start by kind of answering the question, why should we promote cycling? Cycling is an amazing tool that tackles so many problems that Irish people face. Cycling is a congestion-beating mode of transport. Congestion is worsening and it is stealing valuable hours from people's lives and destroying their quality of life. Both walking and cycling have a large role to play in improving public health through exercise, reducing air pollution and noise pollution. Cycling can tackle social isolation and social accessibility. It's a cheap and easy mode of transport that connects people to vital services and to work. And cycling can also tackle our climate change objectives. When towns and cities are designed with cycling and walking in mind, such as in Seville, Strasbourg and Paris, then we do see people of all ages and all abilities cycling, either for local trips or to connect to public transport as part of larger trips. The more the government can do to promote cycling, the stronger, happier and healthier Irish society will be. There's many problems that people cycling face, and if we tackle them, it will enable more people to cycle. On the new overtaking regulations, dangerous overtaking is a serious issue. Our members report dangerous overtaking on a regular basis. Many of these incidents are backed up by footage on helmet cams, and the footage is terrifying. There are three pillars in tackling this issue: awareness, legislation and enforcement. The RSA's awareness campaign was the first step. The new regulations introduced by Minister Ross were the second step. The third and final step we need is strong enforcement of the new regulation. An Garda Síochána need to be given the resources and the training to enforce this new law. In the UK, West Midlands Police has seen great results in its Operation Close Pass. When their police officer is close passed on a bike, they either offer to educate the driver or take the driver to court. Similar to London's Met Police, An Garda Síochána could allow members of the public to upload their video footage to aid in prosecutions. Speeding is another issue faced by people cycling. The Road Safety Authority's Free Speed Survey 2018 reveals that 98% of drivers in urban areas are breaking the 30 km/h speed limits, and 81% are breaking 50 km/h speed limits. This level of speeding is a major cause for concern for people who cycle, for parents who bring their kids to school, or for older people who should feel safe in their own neighbourhood. Harassment and intimidation of people cycling is also a major concern for us. We're concerned at the level of verbal and physical harassment targeted at people cycling. We regularly hear reports of intimidation, with a number of women in the campaign subject to gendered abuse, both verbal and physical. We need strong political leadership on this issue to tackle it. The number one thing the government can do to promote cycling is to build a network of segregated cycle lanes that protect people from motor traffic. The existing painted cycle lanes do not offer enough protection to people who cycle or provide enough of an incentive or confidence to people who would like to cycle but are too afraid or too nervous. When we build high-quality segregated cycle lanes, we have seen huge increases in the number of people cycling and the diversity of people cycling. All of the cities in Ireland and all the major towns in the Greater Dublin area have a cycling network plan. We just need to build it. For cycling projects in Dublin, Bus Connect Dublin offers a huge opportunity as it proposes to deliver 200 kilometres of segregated cycle tracks. It will be transformative for Dublin, and it will provide the backbone of the Greater Dublin Area Cycle Network Plan. The project is not without its challenges, and they need to be worked through. Bus Connect alone will not deliver a cycle network for Dublin, though. We also need to complete many other projects, including the Liffey Cycle Route, the Dodder Greenway, the Santry Greenway, and the East Coast Trail. One of the issues we've had in delivering these projects is the long lead-in time for infrastructure projects. The Liffey cycle route started planning 8 years ago, and it is no closer to construction today than it was then. The Royal Canal Greenway in Dublin received planning permission in 2015, but the majority of it has not started construction yet. All of these projects have been delayed again and again because of a lack of capital funding or a lack of human resources in either Dublin City Council or the National Transport Authority. Allocating 10% of the land transport budget towards cycling, as recommended by the Joint Committee on Climate Action, will provide the resources that these organisations need to deliver this vital infrastructure. Briefly talk about HGVs in urban areas. In April 2018, Harry Boland, a 19-year-old engineering student in Trinity College, was killed by a left-turning truck on the Slorgan Road. Similarly, Neeraj Jain, 34, who came to Ireland from India to study and work, was killed by a left-turning truck in Kilmainham while he was cycling to work. HGVs are a leading killer of people cycling in urban areas. Educating people about the blind spots of HGVs and adding more cameras and mirrors is not a systemically safe solution. People are human and we're going to make mistakes, but mistakes shouldn't get people killed on our roads. The EU is requiring HGVs produced after 2021 to meet high direct vision standards. This effectively means that there is no blind spots around the cab of a HGV. This significantly reduces the number of fatalities for people walking and cycling. The 5-axle truck ban in Dublin City Council provides huge benefits to people walking and cycling. The next step, though, is to provide legislation that would allow the local authority to require trucks that meet these high standards to only be allowed in these tight urban areas. There's obviously lots of details to be worked out there, but the local authority needs some powers from the Oireachtas to do this. Finally, I want to talk about the duty of the state to protect life. On the night of Neeraj Jain's death 19 days ago, the cycling community and local residents held a vigil at the site of the collision. As we stood at the junction, we watched the traffic. Each local resident would tell a story about how they've almost been in a collision while walking or cycling at this junction. They've told us that they've sent letters of complaint with regard to the traffic to Dublin City Council and Garda Síochána, the Health and Safety Authority, and the traffic around this area has only worsened with the construction of the National Children's Hospital. The junction is poorly designed and doesn't meet modern safety standards. The risk of life was evident to us, and it was reported to multiple authorities. Given the complaints that were expressed about that junction, we must ask, is the state failing in its most fundamental duty to protect life? Thank you very much.